guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Catherine with a K, and before we start today's video I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who put such lovely comments on my Facebook page after my last video, which was called It's Okay to Not Be Okay, My Mental Health Journey. If you haven't seen that yet, I will link it in the card above for you to watch. I would recommend it if you are yourself having struggles, or if somebody that you know is having struggles. It's just about my personal experience, and people have been so kind and so supportive after I released that, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Today is the 29th of August. It's a bit of a sweet day for me. The sweet is it's Paul's niece's Evie's birthday today. She's 8 years old, so happy birthday, Evie. And I can't wait till we get to see you and give you a lovely hug, and I hope that you're having a lovely day. Also, today is mine and Paul's second anniversary. We've been together 2 years. We did celebrate a couple of days ago because we're both working tonight. So we had a little celebration. We had a lovely candlelit dinner and we watched a film, and we just had a lovely time. You know, you don't need to go out to enjoy each other's company. So Paul, thank you for 2 wonderful years, and I look forward to the next years that we spend together. You are my rock, and I love you very much. And he's been so supportive, particularly related to this video and every video that I've put up. He's an amazing man, and I'm so blessed to have him in my life. Also, today would have been my grandmother Irene's 95th birthday. We lost my gran coming up to 3 years now, 14th of September 2017 was when we lost her. And she was in quite poor health, and unfortunately she passed away, but at least now we know that she is not suffering anymore, and she's with my granddad. So that's, to me, is a positive thing. I wanted to do this video because I want to pay tribute to her, because she was a really important person in my life. And I also wanted to do this video because I do know a lot of people do struggle with grieving and moving on from when they've suffered such a big loss. So again, this is all my experiences that I'm talking about, and if you relate, that's fantastic. If yours is different, then there are things, if you struggle with it, that there are places to go, such as your GP or the NHS website, that can give you details of websites that you can look into and see what's best for you, because everybody is different. So my gran was born in 1925, so she's a little bit older than the Queen. She was one of 7 children, 3 of her mother and father's. Her mother died when she was 6, which was a big loss. She moved away to her aunt. Her dad remarried. Unfortunately, she didn't get along with her stepmother. Her stepmother was quite abusive to her throughout her childhood, so she didn't have a very happy childhood. She worked from being 13 when she left school. She's done a few different things. She was a sort of kitchen maid. She worked for Copperworks. I think she worked on machinery and bullets during the war. But actually, it was during the war that she met my granddad. She was singing in a club of sorts, and my granddad really enjoyed listening to her, and he walked up to her and said that, I'd love to talk to her more and to walk her home. But unfortunately, his brother, who was on leave, was very drunk, and he had to get him home. And his mother wouldn't be very happy if something happened to her son while he was drinking. But obviously they met again, they fell in love, and they got married. She was 19, he was 20. And they had 5 children together. Sadly though, her eldest did die when he was a couple of days old, so unfortunately that was another blow to her. But my gran was such a strong person that she did what she needed to do to grieve, and then she just tried to move on, and then had 4 more children, including my mother Sylvia. They weren't rich. There were times when they struggled for money. My granddad was a miner and she was a nurse, but she got through it, and she did what she had to do to make sure her children were well fed, that they were clothed, that they had a roof over their head, that they went to school. My mother and my uncle went to grammar school, and she made sure that they got everything that they need to have a successful childhood, and they did, and it was because of her and my grandfather. They taught them morals and how to be a good person, and they themselves taught their children that, you know, mine and my cousins. Sadly, my granddad passed away in 77, and my mother was 22. So my mother's been without him longer than she had him, and that was a huge blow to the family. But they all got through it. They got through it together. They became a strong family unit, and a family unit I believe my granddad would have been very, very proud of. After retirement, she got a dog, Snowy, who was her pride and joy, and became really the whole family's pride and joy. So he was such a sweet little Westie, and I think that because my gran had such a big fondness for Westies, and I think that's gone on to me as well. I said to Paul, you know, when we retire, I want a dog, I want to call it, I want a Westie. Thanks to her. You know, after retirement, she really, really wanted to enjoy life. She went on different holidays, she travelled around quite a bit of the world, she's been on cruises. At the age of 79, she walked the Brooklyn Bridge. It might have taken her some time, but she did it, as she said. She did it, regardless of how long it took. She walked the Brooklyn Bridge. She's been to Bethlehem, she's been to different parts of America. She's been through quite a lot of places in Europe. She enjoyed herself because she didn't have that when she was younger. She was going to live life to the fullest and see as much as she can and enjoy as much of her life as possible. And apart from that, she had 7 grandchildren, she was such an incredible role model to all of us. She was a strong woman, and if we had a problem, we could talk to her. She was a matriarch of the family. She was an incredible person, and she brought so much to our lives, and continues to do, even though she's gone. Unfortunately, she hit her late 80s. Her health started to frail quite a bit. She had COPD. Her mobility was starting to reduce and get harder for her, but she still wanted to do things. I mean, for her 90th, my mum and my aunties took her to London for a day out, and she had such a good time. You know, she created them special memories that are still with them even now. And she actually met up with Judith and her wife Kate, and it was such a lovely surprise. And they had such a lovely day to celebrate her 90th with their 3 daughters. And I've seen pictures of that, and she was just smiling all the time, even though it was a slightly rainy day. But she had Prosecco, and she had a good time. What more do you need? We had a big family celebration for her 90th at my auntie's house, and it wasn't just family, it was family friends. She just treated like family. She just loved everybody. It was such a lovely day for us all to get together. Her children, her in-laws, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, friends, nieces and nephews who live in Wales came. It was such a big day for her, and it was such a huge celebration, and I still remember that, and I've got pictures, and she's smiling, we're all having a good time, and that's a day I treasure quite a lot. I was just so happy that we got her to her 90th, because like I said, her health was starting to frail then, and kept frailing until unfortunately she passed away. She was 92 when she died. And that was a terrible day for us all. Even though we knew it was coming, it still was a huge shock. Most of us were there. She had a whole family with her, you know. She was on medication to help, you know, to help keep her settled, to make sure she wasn't in pain, and she did go peacefully. And she had a lovely funeral, you know. We all got to say goodbye, and then we went to Sands End. If you're not sure where that is, that's in North Yorkshire, where she would go often with my Uncle Tom, and we scattered her there into the sea. She loved going to the seaside. She loved her fish and chips, a cup of tea. So that was such a lovely resting place for her, even if we did all get drenched by a big massive tidal wave, which I know she said that just to see how far we could run. We all got soaked because of that. And we all had a good laugh, and it was such a lovely way to say goodbye. She was in the sea. I like to think she's all around the world now, you know. She couldn't swim in life, but she's swimming now. So I think she would be very, very happy with that. And the main reason why I wanted to do this today was because even though she's no longer with us, the lessons that we learnt and how she was in life will always remain with us, and it helps me to not just grieve, but it helps me to move on. You know, trying to remember all the good times. You know, whenever she'd come to our house for dinner, and how her and my dad would have this teasing banter going on with them. And she always used to call him that Derek. Oh, take that Derek home, will you, Sylvia? She always got a Sunday name when she was in trouble. But she gave as good as she got, you know. You see, they're the things that I do try to cherish. And since she's passed away, she actually was blessed with another great-grandchild. And her middle name is Eva, which was my grand's middle name. And that is such a beautiful gift to have. And when this baby grows up, she will know of my gran and knows just how much of an important part she's played in her life, even though she's never met her. She's, you know, she's going to be taught them stories and know who she was, because she was a very, very special person to all of us. And if I have children, they will know the same thing about my life. Lessons that I've learnt from her will be taught to them and for the generations to come. I had her for 30 years in my life, and I am so thankful and grateful for those 30 years. I could turn to her if there were any problems, and she was always there for all of us. I mean, some people don't have that, and I was incredibly blessed and fortunate to have had that type of role model in my life. Like I say, she was the matriarch. She brought us all together. And she loved to have a good time. She loved weddings, she loved family events, because that was what was most important to her in the world, was her family. And her family always came first. I don't think any of us would be where we are right now if it wasn't for her. So how I choose to deal with her with the loss of her, is just trying to remember the good times and what she meant to me. She was an incredible human being, and I do miss her every day. But remembering why she meant so much to me is what gets me through. And I do hope that other family members who are watching this now will feel the same thing. Sorry, that was my alarm. She was an incredible person. An incredible mother, grandmother, great-grandma, but a human being, first and foremost. I like to think now that she is at peace. She's with my granddad, she's with other family members. I describe myself as being spiritual. I do believe in a higher power, I do believe that there is a heaven, and I know within my heart that she is there with my granddad and that they are together again and they have eternity together, and I know that I will see her one day and I'll get to meet my granddad, and that's another thing that keeps me going. That love is still there. That love, even if somebody passes away, the love that they leave behind, the memories that they leave behind is always with me. That love never dies, and I think that's the best thing in the world. And that's what keeps me going. So Gran, I know you're out there and I know that you're listening, I know that you're watching over all of us. We love you, we miss you, and I hope that you are proud of all of us, and thank you for everything that you've done, and thank you for everything that you've given me. Without you, I don't think I'll be the person I am today without your love and what you've taught my mother and what my mother has taught me. So thank you for all that you are. So I do hope that you've gained something from this video. I mean, there are help and support out there if you are struggling with bereavement, and I encourage you to take that. You know, there's NHS, there's your GP, there's other family and friends that you can talk to. And if you've liked this video, please give me a like, and if you want to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get more info on my videos in the future, then do so if you wish. And I shall see you next week with a brand new video. So, goodbye.